Ashley here. I'm live. Hey, it's just me today. What? That's crazy. All right, so cool. Coach Ashley here at the Critical Bench Compound, as you guys are aware, and coming to you guys live today. One, we did a whole bunch of filming on just legs, right? So previously when I started the compound, if you've been following us for a while, right back in 2017, I started filming one off here and there, but it was all leg content. So all throughout my bodybuilding years, I just did legs. I was known for my legs on stage. And since then, obviously, I stopped competing. End of 2018 was my last show. My last prep was 2019. I ended up not stepping on stage that year. But from 2019 up to 2022, I lost about 20 pounds of muscle, which for my frame, it's fine. I did want to go into more of an athletic physique per se versus bodybuilding physique. So I wanted to just be functional. I couldn't really move very well, and like my agility wasn't there with that amount. I was carrying, like, from my frame, I'm 5'4", like 155 pounds. Now I'm 130, so relatively lean, but I think I'm more functional now. So with that said, if you've been with me since 2017, obviously I went from bodybuilder, like I had big shoulders, I had big legs, to now obviously I'm more functionally training. Quick zoom, right? So with that said, we were talking and Chris is like, you know what are some of your favorite leg exercises, you know, from when you were bodybuilding and then to now. So I did a combination of 3 different exercises I want to show you guys today. One specifically when I was bodybuilding because I was training at a big box gym. I don't train at a big box gym anymore. I train more in a warehouse gym. I very rarely train with mirrors anymore. So when I do train with a mirror, it feels kind of weird. But with that said, most warehouse gyms don't have a hack squat. And this machine and I have, there's no hate in this relationship. It's all love. And I just got stronger and stronger and stronger to the point that I had like 8 plates on there at my strongest and at my peak when I was bodybuilding, but just pushing heavy weight all the time. Now I couldn't show you guys all of my favorite leg exercises today, but I pretty much love all of them. It's easier to say which leg exercises I don't like, which explains my weaknesses too in my physique. I hate deadlifting. Fun fact, I'm not a fan of deadlifting. I do it. I don't know. I'm not just like, yay, let's go deadlift today. It's more like, yay, let's go front squat today, or yay, let's go back squat today. And I'm not a big fan of the hip thrust. Again, I have a weaker posterior chain, and obviously it shows because those are my least favorite movements to do. I still do them, obviously, to have a well-rounded physique. I can't just train my, the front side of my body and not train the back and expect to be functional or athletic in a sense. So my 3 favorite movements I'm going to show you guys. I don't want to keep you guys too long today. We just wanted to come on and I wanted to share with you because a lot of questions are like, how do I get legs like yours? One of my clients the other day, she goes, I want legs just like yours. And I'm like, all right, cool. So
these tips for both men and women or just women?
Men and women. I mean, they're exercises, and exercises don't, they don't, what's the word I'm looking for? They don't just.
Exercises are gender fluid.
Yes, exercises are gender fluid. There you go. All right, cool. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and start with my first, which is going to be the reverse hack squat. So you have the hack squat. Most people, you would get on it, obviously, front side, right? So in the reverse position, most hack squats don't have this extra little piece right here, which is pretty cool. Most just have this center piece right here, and I usually rest my forehead on the pad. Now, if you are at a big box gym, I'm going to tell you right now to go ahead and wipe that puppy down. Otherwise, you're putting your forehead on somebody else's back sweat, and it's kind of gross. All right, so. And every hack squat has different, a lever that removes. So before we shot this, I was like, where's the lever? It's up here by the hand. Most of them, like, you can kind of kick over with your foot. It's going to be at the waist. I usually always kick it over my foot. But you're going to get nice up underneath this. I have to go on my tippy toes because I'm not short. We just said I'm 5'4". And now you can go wide on this. You can go hip width apart. You can go sumo. But since we're talking about my favorite, I like to do this narrow. And I don't know if you can see, Steven, how narrow my feet, my stance is, right? And so as I do that, I rotate my knees outward. So yes, I'm hitting the quads, a little bit of glutes, put my hands up here. And even though I can't put my forehead on that pad, my chin is still tucked. So as I come down, coming nice and deep, pushing through those heels, flexing my quads at the top, keeping my core nice and engaged. That nice little reverse hack. I love them. I have not done them in so long. Nice little nostalgia there, but when I was bodybuilding, guaranteed you'd see me on that reverse hack squat every single week. just add in the plates, add in the plates, add in the plates, and just focusing on, I did a lot of narrow stance. Now, yes, I will flip over and do that straight stance too, having my entire spine, especially the low back, pressed against that hack squat. Sometimes I would put a foam roller in between my knees in the front position. So if I have my back here, see if I can get my pigtails, right? I would put a wedge in between my legs here, and that way, as I'm pushing in, I just did a whole inner thigh series, not a whole series, but just did an inner thigh video, and we're talking about that squeeze, that tension right here. So I'd put a foam roller. I'm pretty sure that's probably the best thing you could probably find at a gym as I'm looking around thinking about it. And I would go down. That's another way to do it. But again, focusing on legs, quads, glutes, all of it. My second absolute favorite. And it's funny because when I program this or when I show it to any of my clients, people hate this movement. And it is like my all-time favorite. So the Bulgarian split. If you go on my social media, my Instagram page, and you scroll past my mom stuff, because now I'm more mom focused, you'll see like Bulgarian split on there multiple times. We good? Hey. All right, yeah, so you'll see the Bulgarian split squat on there. And I was like, did I do anything else? I mean, yes, of course I did. But so here we can leave that dumbbell down on the ground. We're gonna place our foot up. And now there's many different ways to cut a cake. You can go here, and this is how I teach my clients, is to find their split, right? Like lengthen that opposite leg and then roll into it. Your choice. A lot of people put their toe flat. I had falling arches as a kid, so my arches are very sensitive. So I actually just flatten my foot out to where my toes are rested on top of the bench like this versus my toes digging into the bench. Once you're here, we're gonna find that dumbbell. We're gonna come up. I'm gonna get a little bit tighter on my split, and we're driving to the ground. So I put one hand on the glute here, and my shoulders track over my knee. So I'm here. So I'm not sitting up and down right here, right? So that Bulgarian split, you wanna lean into it, drive here. And you can go so heavy on these. I freaking love them. I usually go really heavy. 30 pounds is like half of what I would typically do. I have to wear Versa grips because my grips can't carry a 65-pound dumbbell. But the point is of the Bulgarian split for me when I am training is I will use anything that will assist me to lift the weight a little bit heavier because I have baby hands. You can't tell, but they are the smallest hands ever. And my grips are really weak. Even though I try to strengthen them, they're slowly getting better. But all throughout my bodybuilding career, all throughout my athletic career, they're just really, really weak, so I will use Versa grips so I can grab that heavy weight, so I can push that heavy weight through that muscle. If you're not, I mean, we all know, if you're on this channel, you already know lifting weights is gonna build your muscle, but really challenging your muscle to that point of failure is what's really gonna build it. So a lot of people always question my coach, how did Ashley, and I didn't necessarily grow really fast, I didn't really grow at all, I've always had that muscle, but how did Ashley's physique, how does it look the way it does? And I have this mindset that if I go into the gym and I say I'm gonna do 4 sets, I'm in my 3rd set and I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna do this set and I'm done. I will force myself to do a whole nother set. So if I said, all right, I'm gonna do 12 reps, and then I'm in my 10th rep and I'm like, I can't do 2 more. Just the thought of not, like, I can't, I forced myself for years to out-train that can't. And I created mental toughness with myself in my trainings where I forced myself like, oh, you thought you couldn't? So now you're gonna do 12 more because you thought you couldn't. So it's funny because Andy Frisella, the CEO of First Form, he talks about that a lot, that he's the same way. And I'm like, if I was a 42-year-old man, I would probably be you. Anyways, that's a great mindset to have. If you have that mindset of I can't, or you're in your reps and you can't make it to the end of those reps, I would encourage you, depending on what your goals are, I mean, mental toughness should be a goal for every single person on this planet. So force yourself to do 12 more. Get out of that habit of saying, I can't do 12 more. Well, yeah, you can. You're going to. And that's how I was able to accomplish and make it as far as I did in bodybuilding. It didn't go pro, but I was one place away 2 years from going pro. And you can't control who shows up at a show either. So I just wasn't there, and that's okay. But I did relatively well for the short period of time, the 4 years that I did compete. I would say I did pretty good. All right, my last and final movement. So that Bulgarian split is something that I still do to this day, right? So I don't really hack squat anymore. 1, because I train in a warehouse, and 2, I just don't have that machine. But I do Bulgarian splits very regularly. So the second one I do is going to be a lateral step down. So this isn't something I did when I was bodybuilding either. One, just focusing on stability wasn't, I guess, a focus for me, as bad as that is to say. But now my goals for my physique and my body and just overall quality of life are different. I want to have stability. I want to be able to balance. I mean, Coach Chris actually posted on his story earlier, balance was important when you're 2 years old. It should be important when you're 72 years old. I'm like, yes, coach, yes. Like, yes, I'm in the same realm as you. So coming up here, now you can hold the dumbbell here. You can hold the dumbbell on your side. But again, we talked about my grip. So I usually will take a nice heavy dumbbell. Sometimes I'll do this body weight too. I get one foot nice and close. I take this opposite foot and I track the box, right? So I don't take it off of the box, track the box. And the most important part of this is actually down, stepping down. I tap the toe, come right back up. Again, controlling all the way down and back up. Where people do these wrong, and I see this actually at the gym. I went to Big Box Gym like 2 months ago, and some girl was doing this, but she was doing it on the 30-inch box. I'm like, first of all, it's too high. But second of all, when you're on a 30-inch box, and you only come down 10 inches and you fall the other 12 or 20, this kind of like not the point, right? You shouldn't be able to hold it for 10 inches and then drop the additional 20. Drop it down in a 20-inch box and maybe you go 10 inches. But whenever you drop, you release the muscle, right? So if I'm here and I drop it every time, I release the muscle. That's not the point of the exercise. The step down is tension and control all the way down, tap, right back up. Finding that balance, right back up. Being able to do that. And if you can't do it with weight first, start with body weight, right? So find your balance, being able to come down without releasing that muscle and dropping. And so that will obviously relate to many different factors in your life, whether you're looking at a single leg squat, anything, being able to control that muscle the entire time. I think it's extreme athletic ability to be able to do it. It takes a lot of muscle control. It takes stability. It takes balance, as Coach Chris was talking about earlier. I love it. Those are 3 of my favorites. I also love the front squat. I think I talked about that on a live before, maybe. Barbell front squat. I love coaching them. I love teaching them. Big fan of barbell front squat as well as a dumbbell front squat, if you're doing it correctly. Oh, what am I giving away?
What we've been giving away all day.
Oh, I have something awesome for you guys today. Thanks, Jared from... Not Subway. Jared Diamonds. There we go.
Jared from Subway is not here.
Jared from Subway is not here. Thanks, other Jared. Jared, the awesome Jared. The best Jared you'll ever meet. So I do have something free for you guys today. We're talking about legs. We're talking about thighs. Vanya, I know you guys remember Vanya. I filmed with her. She is awesome. WFF competitor. She's beautiful. But we did a 5-minute thigh workout together a few months ago, and I have it for you. So if you haven't already, check out that link. What is it, in the comments, or is it pinned up top? Description. There we go. So check out the link in the description, and it's free. 5-minute thigh workout. Go ahead, try it out, do it. I believe that's the one that was I coaching Vanya in that one?
Doing Vanya,
Yeah, I think, yeah, and it's a burner. It's a good one. So go ahead and try those out. Again, you don't have to do fancy stuff. Like I know, well, none of this is fancy, really. I mean, a reverse hack squat, that's really not that fancy, focusing on that narrow step. I like the hack. I mean, you can obviously do that with a barbell too, but there's a lot of better factors that go into a loose weight versus a structured machine. So if I'm strictly trying to focus on just a movement, I'm probably gonna go into something more structured. And that's probably why I don't do it anymore, because I don't focus on just structure and just building. I focus more on athleticism. So I do everything with barbells and dumbbells. Again, it depends on what your goals are, right? So you can obviously go and do leg press. You can go and do hack squat. You can go and do, the glute thrust, anything of that, any sort of leg machine. That's fine if that's what your goals are. My goals aren't to be able to just move in one singular movement anymore. I want to be able to engage my entire body, have that bar on my back, pull my core in, make sure my shoulders are nice. I could have a good shoulder girdle, good shoulder stability, and being able to do that movement, or the front rack position, being able to have healthy shoulders, healthy hips to get all the way down into that squat. Again, your goals, my goals, they're completely different. My goals as I age, I want to be more athletic, as I want my balance to be as good as it was when, I was a kid. I want to continue jumping into my 40s and 50s. So with that said, go ahead, check out the description. Short live for you guys today. I hope you guys learned something. Go ahead, maybe try that step down and see how much control you have. And you can always obviously elevate the surface too. If you master the 20, go to the 30. But again, if you start dropping hard on that knee, it's pointless in doing that movement. You might as well drop it back down to the 20 to have full control on that tap and then come right back up. And the Bulgarian split. Everybody should be doing Bulgarian splits. They suck, but that's why we love them. All right, guys, I'll see you guys next time. If you guys have any questions, comments, and concerns, if you want me to do a live specifically on a topic, let us know. I'll do it. All right, see you guys next time.